to talk about what we're expecting for OTS Pack 29. Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we got to start off over here with the Memento stuff. Now somebody's going to be like, whoa. Memento cards? Really? Well, the Combined Creation is the only Memento card that really hasn't been reprinted yet. So it makes sense for Konami to want to drop this card in here as an ultimate rare, and I do hate to say it, but this actually kind of makes the most sense on the Memento side of things. You know, it kind of had its comeback. Konami's probably been watching this and saw, hey, you know, Memento Combined Creation's been doing very well. Getting this as an ultimate rare wouldn't be too bad. And then there's a discussion about Memento Goblin. Goblin is the only Memento card to not have a foil print yet. So it's crazy to think about here that you could be seeing something like Combined Creation getting that ultimate upgrade. You can be seeing something like Goblin getting a holo print in here as well, but this has all got to do with pretty much, you know, we just reprinted the Big Fusion during the tins this year. And, you know, Combined Creation's been the only one that has not seen that level of reprint yet. So as much as I don't want to see Memento cards, I think that this unfortunately is just kind of a filler sort of arc that would definitely make some sense. Of course, Mitsurugi. We are finally at the point in time where Mitsurugi can finally explode. Explosion! See it? It's finally... I think that Mitsurugi, especially Habagiri, being the card that you play as, you know, the three of, for them to ultimate res, because I mean, like, Habagiri was only ever a super rare. It made really no sense for that card to not be in any other higher rarity. You know, it kind of got punched in the face and didn't really get its QCR. So to finally give Habagiri, you know, its big upgrade, and I mean, finally now, you know, Mitsu is in the spotlight here. Now, I am kind of wondering if maybe when the OTS pack was designed, maybe this wouldn't have been a spotlight suggestion, but I can't imagine that to be the case. I have a feeling Konami would take enough forefront of knowledge on that. And then we got to tie in Prayers here. I would not be surprised to see Prayers being a super rare in this OTS pack. It deserves it. Between Prayers and Habagiri, those are the two most important cards that you can really look at in a set and go, we need to see something for these. I agree. I wholeheartedly say that, you know, if Habagiri is not the ulti, I'm going to be shocked. And then Abyss King Gilgamesh. So the duelist that posted this brought up an interesting point about Gilgamesh kind of getting the same treatment that they did with Evil Heroes, and Gilgamesh has not had a reprint yet. I could definitely see this, actually. So Gilgamesh is one of the most important pieces to the deck because it does beam out the pendulum scales. You know, once you get the pendulum scales established, you're just kind of, you know, you're good to go. You know, you can kind of start to play the deck that you want to. He also being an Abyss King triple DDD does kind of make him an important piece to the strategy. So I don't like the thought of these being the ultimate rares, but pushing DDD for marketing, Mitsu for the next best deck, Memento just to get the rest of the pieces rarity'd out. You know, it makes sense, and I hate that. Heraldic Beast Leo. We have reprinted every heraldic monster that matters except for Leo. Now, you can make the argument here, well, Robbie, you know, they just cratered Rizal into the ground. Yes, I agree. But Leo is still a $3 to $4 rare. Why has this card not gotten a super rarity upgrade? Why did we not get this during the last OTS so that people could have chosen to play this? I don't want to waste a slot on Heraldic Beast Leo, but the fact that we have ignorantly ignored this card's reprint all the way up to this point is such a crazy thing to me. And if we don't actually get it in this set, I'm just going to be shocked, man. It doesn't make any sense to me that we continue to kind of dodge these sorts of things. Crystron. All right, so Sulfador and Elasceletus. So this is, we just pretty much took the entirety of Crystron, punted it on the other side of the room, and here we are kind of walking back to this going, oh, hey, you know, could we give some rarity upgrades? Yeah, I think Sulfador would be fantastic, even with inclusion limited to 1 in the deck. It is inclusion, right? Even with, you know, the limitations of this, they still knew that Crystron was going to be a headliner deck because people saw, oh, hey, you know, we can pick up, you know, the Canine cards, build them into this strategy, and we could just essentially make this entire package broken, and it's done a fantastic job at it. I would not be surprised to see something in the Crystron department getting a rarity upgrade. Number C, 104. They did 104 during the last OTS pack, and we all kind of looked around going, where's our C104 at this point in time? I don't think it really, does it matter? Does the C104 yes, we still need a C104 reprint very, very badly. Just because, you know, we happen to crater Vanquish Soul off of a cliff doesn't necessarily mean that players are wanting to step away from this. Players still want the opportunity to get C104s. I mean, especially if, you know, you can still do the rank up package through, you know, the Canine stuff to make this, it's still a piece of, you know, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Player's history, especially, you know, if you've got a number collection, you're wanting to build a number collection now for the casual players, you need a cheap printing of this. There is no reason that this card should not have been reprinted up to this point in time. I have to imagine Konami had some foresight with this. Valen, the Sky Blaster. Why was this card a common? That's kind of the, like, I'm glad it was a common and it was available, but Valen's one of those cards that, can we rarity upgrade this already? Like, the card literally is one of the best rank 5 toolbox options. It's something that you can fling out of your extra deck at your opponent, which gives you control options, which I really, really like because, you know, they're bye-bye back row, or actually any set card, actually, you know, it's a little bit better than I kind of imagine, but it's because we have, you know, Konami likes to print these cards in low rarity and then upgrade them later. I'm happy, but, you know, you could release a card as a super rare first, and then you can work with it later. I cannot imagine that Konami literally said, hey, we are going to save this for OTS Pack 29. It's so far after. It's kind of wild. Chaotic Elements. Why is this card a low rarity card? Every time I play a Canine variant, I just look at it and I go, this is horrifying. Like, this is one of the worst cards that is a common. Now, for the sake of everybody having them on release, cool, yeah, that's good. But now I look at this, I'm like, why is my Searcher a common? You know, if Konami really looks at this card and doesn't actually choose to give it an upgrade, I'm going to be just shocked. Absolutely. Because it doesn't make any sense for us to not have this card looking much nicer than what we've already got for it. I mean, also, you know, the ability to take something from the opponent is by far one of the craziest things that we've got printed on, like, modern era Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So please give super. Definitely we need this. And then Artifact Dagda needs a reprint. You know, you left Mjolnir Lock effectively intact at this point, and not a lot of people are, you know, happy about that, because now you can just randomly lose to the biggest BS that you could ever actually think of. But because of this, we kind of have to deal with it at this point. And I think actually getting a Dagda reprint into circulation would at least help, you know, let people that want to play this. I mean, Dagda's been like, what, $4 to $5 plus for so long now. So if we could actually, you know, push a reprint for this, I'd be okay with. Whether or not it ends up being a common or a super, I'm okay with. But This is a pretty good list of expectations. Probably the most realistic thing I've seen for this OTS pack. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.